Hey creative friends, welcome to my channel, and guess what? Today's Wednesday, and that means it is sourdough day. I am excited about this recipe because I wanted to try these for a long time and they look delicious, and so I'm going to make them. So what I'm making today is sourdough brownies. And I've got my discard. Look at how beautiful that is. See all the bubbly? It's wonderful. So this is going to be what I'm going to use for my sourdough brownies. But I want to tell you, I had so much and it's doing so well. I am setting some aside to put in the fridge and just to check it once a week or so to feed it, because this sourdough that I got from Need Ace is doing so amazing. I want to have a backup. So I have about the same amount on the counter that I'm using, but I'm putting that in the fridge because I had enough to do that with. So I've got a backup in case something happens to the one that's on the counter. But what I have here for the brownies, and I'll have this recipe in the description, is 1 stick of unsalted butter, and that's the 8 tablespoon stick. And then a cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. Now these are a little gray because they were in the freezer, but they're fine. A tablespoon of vanilla, which I have right there. There's my tablespoon of vanilla. Oop, I spilled a little, but that's okay. So a tablespoon seems like a lot, but it's going to be awesome. 3/4 of a cup of flour, and I'm just using plain old all-purpose flour. 1 1/4 cup of sugar that I measured out into this container, that little measuring cup there. 1/2 cup of cocoa powder, which I have right there. And then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. There she is. 2 eggs. Boom. And my 1/2 cup of sourdough starter. So what it tells me to do is I'm preheating the oven to 350, and I have a 8 by 8 pan that I have lined with parchment paper. That's how we're doing that. But what you have to do is they tell you in a medium saucepan to heat the butter to melt it, and then you're going to add in the chocolate chips and the vanilla and stir until it's all melted together. But I don't want to do it on the stove, so I am just going to put this in the microwave, and I am going to heat it. Ooh, I don't want to mess up my vanilla. Oh, I got to wipe that off. But I'm going to go ahead and heat this in the microwave, and then I'll just do that instead of the on the stove. So I'm going to pop this in the microwave and melt it. Then when I come back, I'll put in the chocolate chips and the vanilla, and then we'll stir it until it's all together. And then in a medium bowl, we're going to mix the other things, and then you kind of mix them together and stir them until they're nicely blended, and then you put them in the pan. So let me get this melted, and then I will come back to you, and we'll do the next step. Okay, we've got that melted. Now I'm going to put in the chocolate chips and the vanilla, and then we're going to stir them until everything is melted and incorporated. I might have to pop this in the microwave once, but that's fine. I just didn't feel like doing it on the stove. So we're just going to stir this until it's all nicely melted and incorporated. And these are big chips, so they might take a little longer than the smaller ones that I had, but this is what I had on my pantry shelf. And I had these for making something, or in my freezer. Sometimes I'll buy a bulk thing. What I like to do also is vacuum seal all my chips, and when I go to like Costco and I buy the pecans and the walnuts and the almonds and the chocolate chips and stuff in bulk, and then I come home and I vacuum seal them in 1 cup measurements, so that when I pull one of those out, I know it's a cup, and it's just easier sometimes for recipes. It's quicker. Okay, so that's melting up nicely. I'm going to stir this until it's all melted. And then the next thing we do is we have to put the cocoa powder, the salt, the flour, and the sugar in this and stir that until it's all mixed together. And then we'll add this to that, mix it up, and then you put the sourdough starter and the eggs, you mix it until it's just nicely mixed, and that's it. It's so simple. Alright, I'm going to pop this back in the mic. Oh, maybe I don't need to. It's coming along all right. Ooh, it smells like chocolate. I'm in the mood for chocolate and sweets right now. And usually, I kind of don't eat a lot of them. Well, that's not true. I like them, but I'm not like a sweets snacker. I kind of like to snack on things like crackers and cheese. Alright, I'm going to pop this in the microwave just for a second and get a little bump on this. So I'll be right back. Okay, that's all nicely melted. It took like 2 little 10-second bursts to get everything nicely melted. Ooh. Okay, now simply I'm going to use this spatula to mix everything. Okay, now I've got that nicely mixed. So now I'm going to take the flour, sugar, cocoa powder, and salt, and we're going to put it in this. Flour, sugar, there's the salt, and the cocoa powder. And now we want to mix that all together really nicely. Make sure it's all well blended. And then we're going to pour the chocolate ingredient, the liquid that I just melted, into this. There we go. Get that evenly mixed. Perfect. Okay. There we go. Now let's pour this in here. A couple of chocolate chip chunks, but that's okay. They'll melt out. Okay. Then we're going to mix this until it's nicely blended. Then we're going to stir in the sourdough starter and the 2 eggs, which I'm going to crack the 2 eggs in my little measuring cup here and then pour them in. I never crack one into the thing I'm making. Well, generally I don't, in case you get a shell or a bad egg. Alright, get that blended. So see how that's doing? It's just kind of all becoming moist. That's what we're looking for. I'm excited about these sourdough brownies. Okay. Okay, there we go. That's good. We're going to pour that starter in. This is going to give it an extra good taste, a little rise. That was so bubbly, it looks so pretty. I'm excited about my starters. Okay, now let's get the eggs going. Sorry about that. Try to keep my things over to the side. Okay. And now we're going to stir well until there are no clumps. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to stir this, make it no clumps, nice and smooth. And then we'll pour it into the pan. And it's going to bake for about, I believe it's 40 minutes. Yeah, 40 minutes. So we're going to mix this up, and then we'll pour it in the pan, and it'll bake for 40 minutes. So see how that sourdough and the eggs really loosen this up? I just want no clumps. There might be a chocolate chip. And I suspect you could add your own nuts or other chips or whatever. But this is supposed to have a really nice crusty top on it. I like that's the kind of brownies I like. Right now I like any kind of brownies though, I'm telling you. Gotta get back to my working out if I want to eat brownies. Okay, that looks good. Alrighty. Alright, there's no dry batter clumps in there. Perfect. Alright. Smells wonderful. Alright. Okay, let me get the rest of this out of here. Oops, oops. I'm going to get all of it out of this mixing bowl. I have these other mixing bowls, but they're a solid blue, and I think I like the clear bowls when I'm doing a video so that you can kind of see it. So I try to use these big old measuring cups. Okay. Now I'm going to kind of spread this out in here. Get it over in the corners. Okay. Okay, that looks good. Now, I could sprinkle things on top, but I just want to do this recipe this way, and then I'll figure out what I might want to add to it at different times to make it even better. All right, there it is. Let me get that off of there. That's a whole bite right there. Okay. All right. There we have it. Now, see how yummy that looks? All right, it's going to go in the oven at 350 for about 40 minutes until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean, and I will bring you back when that happens. All right, it just came out of the oven, and you can see where I tested it a couple times, little holes, and it didn't come out clean. So I put it in for about 5 extra minutes, and now it comes out clean. The little toothpick, see? Not right there, but that will firm up. That's fine. It's not coming out wet. Those are just little crumbs. So it'll be fine. So I'm going to let this cool, and then we'll take it out of the pan, and we'll cut it, and we'll do a little taste test. All right, guys, it has cooled, and now I'm just going to pop it out of the tray. I'm so excited about this. Let me get rid of this underneath there. And cut this into some nice pieces. It's got that, ooh, it's got that perfect, like, crunchy, crusty top. So good. Yes. Mm-hmm. On my little plate. I always use this for my cookies and things. I think it looks nice. There we go. Nice and moist on the inside with, see, that super crunchy. Oh, it's so perfect. Still a little warm. I could have let it cool a little bit more, but cleaning off the counter because I'm coming to make lunch. I'll leave that bit for the taste test. Got these two little end pieces I'm going to leave. Oh, it's so good. This was easy too. It wasn't hard to make at all. So, oops, keep that there. So looky, look. Doesn't that look delicious? So good. I'm going to try this. You want to try something? So good. All right. The brownies made with sourdough.
Absolutely terrible.
They are not.
You should not eat them. Just give them to me, and I'll take care of them. They're awesome.
Well, there you have it. The way you can kind of scam people out of brownies. But if you make them, you don't need to scam anybody out of them. There they are. I hope you guys give it a try. The instructions will be in the description. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.